Okay, YouTube family, thank you so much once again for tuning in for another episode. Today I bring to you Mondo's God of War, Kratos. This is a 1/6 scale, and I must say, this box looks really freaking cool. Now first, this is a slip-on. So once you remove this slip cover, this is what you get. You get this amazing artwork here on the back. And as you keep going down, then you come across this little bio that speaks about when Kratos got to this side of the world. And when you open up the flap, you get Kratos. Now on to the figure. Starting up at the top, Mondo's did a phenomenal job with this sculpt. We can see the red lines here. Now it isn't as thick as it should be, but he does have the scar. He does have the forehead lines. He has that shadow under his eyes, giving him that stern fatherly look at this point in his life. The one that says, "I am tired, boy." You can see the beard. His beard is nicely sculpted as well and painted properly. I think they should have added a little bit of white, but you can see the sculpt looks really good. Then back here, you can see the line doesn't necessarily match up to the one on his neck that goes down and throughout his body. But if they would have made it this thick, it would have looked good. Then down here, he does have this leather strap with some beautiful sculpt work on it. With some of the silver pieces, you see the buckle, you see the piece that goes over the shoulder and all of the details there. Under the leather strap, they gave him this fur-like material that gives him that look like he had in game, which is soft and fluffy. And under the shoulder guard here, he also has this piece attached to his arm. And as you keep going down, you can see his arms and you can see the texture of his arms. I don't necessarily like the way that they did this joint here. Not enough movement, but we'll talk about that later. Here you can see his, what we call an elbow. I don't know what the heck that is. Straps around his arms, which is nicely detailed. You can see the craftsmanship, the paint job, the weathering, and then underneath it, you can see the marks of the chain when he had it on attached to him by this guy right here. They didn't just painted it on there, they also sculpted. So if you feel it, if you run your fingers on it, you can feel the texture of the chains. On this side of the arm, we can see the red marking that goes from his back all the way to the shoulder area here. Also, we can see some veins sculpted on there. And this time around, instead of some wrappings, we have this gauntlet. You can see some of those sculpted screws onto there. For the hands, we can see that they sculpted everything here as well. You can see the nails, you can see the lines on the thumb there. And I did get this used, so that's probably the little marks that you see on his thumbs. The hand area, you can see that plate similar to what we've seen on the gauntlet. And his hands is wrapped with the same linen that we've seen up here. For his other hand though, it's just bare, but you do see the skin texture, you see the shading, you see some veins, you see the nails, and you see some of those hand lines. Nice sculpt. Here on the back, we can see that this was made out of some sort of animal skin. The rest of it is just pretty much what we've seen in the front. It does have this little part here that you can hook his axe on. Underneath the leather strap, we see that he does have the mark that does continue on throughout his body. And he does have the marks when Sue stabbed him here. Here we see more soft good done, nice stitches. The parts that are sculpted, they're nicely sculpted and painted. This part right here is loose, and it does give you that leather-like material to it. Back here we do see some more stitching, and the material is soft. Now I do wish that they would have had some wiring through it so that you could pose it, but it does not. Under the leathery pleather, we get the Spartan attire that he had before. Some of them have some buttons, others don't, but it does have that grime to it, which is really cool. This time around, we do see Kratos with some pants. They are a little bit loose, and they do give you a little bit of movement. As we continue down, we get to his knees. Here we see these two, which are unique. This one has some rips and tears, and a lot more detail than this one does, but they both have that leather texture to it. And back here we can see that even the back is different. With this time around, the one on the left side has more details. Down here we can see some more leather straps, and we can see more sculpted work that they put into here. And there's a lot of different types of texture throughout his legs. For his shoes, he doesn't have a lot of sculpt, but he does have this line here, but it is very texturized. If you run your fingers, you can feel it. And he does have some sculpted work on the back as well. Here at the bottom, he does have all of these little tiny sculpts little lines, and texture, giving it that realistic feel to it.
Hey, boy, if you haven't yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
For articulation, his head goes all around, but the beard can touch his shoulder pad here. So you be careful because you don't want to scratch it. He looks up about that much, and he looks down, which is not a lot. Pivot, and to the right. Arms go up about that much, but it is pretty stiff to move his arms around. You can do a 360, but it is hard because of the way that the body is made. And on this side, because of the shoulder paddings, it is difficult to move his arm in 360 form. Here, bicep swivel and arm bends. Hand goes all around because it is in a ball joint, and it goes up and down, up and down. Abdomen area, it is really hard to move him. It is really tight, and it feels like he's going to scrape the paint if you try to move him too much. Waist area is also pretty hard. You can't really move him. For his legs, he can't really do the splits because of the fabric of the pants. This is as far as he's gonna go. He does have a little bit of thigh swivel there. Leg goes forward about that much. Knee bends. I think he has double jointed knees, but because of everything that's happening, it's pretty limited. Foot goes all around, goes down, and he does go up a little bit. Does not have no toe hinge. For his ankles, he has very limited ankle rockers. Starting off with his yelling head, he does have this scope, which I think is pretty good for the most part. It does what it needs to do, but I don't know, it's just something's just off. And maybe it's just the mustache is too thick because it covers his teeth, so he looks weird. But the scope is nice. The expression is definitely there. And then the mouth area, if you can look at the tongue, the teeth, they're painted nicely as well. The only problem is, I think the mustache just covers his teeth, giving him that old man look.
That's too damn bad!
Kratos comes with a set of open hands, as we see here. The sculpt, the paint job, everything is continuous with the figure. It's incredible sculpt and paint work. However, this little line here for a figure that's costly like this, I think that we shouldn't have to see those things. But other than that, hands looks good. He also comes with a set of gripping hands. I did buy him used, but the dude didn't tell me it was this crazy in the hands. However, that's due to the fact that the plastic that they use makes it hard for the weapons to go in the hands, and this is the result of it. For the left hand, we do see the wrappings, and we do see the silver plate on it, and it's nicely done. Up next is Mimir. This head is full of incredible detail and paintwork. So you can see from the horn, you can see from the letters on the head, you can look at his beard, bottom lip, his eyes, nicely done. Forehead creases. Then back here we do see that he has the hook to where you can hook him onto Kratos' belt. Down here we see where Kratos cut his head off, and it's just nasty looking, but it's nicely done though, nicely done. And he does comes with this knife, beautifully done. I don't know if that's even weird, but you can see all the scope here. You can feel it with your finger. That's where you hook it onto his belt. And look at the details on the handle there and some engraving. And then there you can see the knife looks like it was made out of a rock or a stone, but this is nicely sculpted and textured. He also comes with this pouch, which does not open. It just hangs onto Kratos' belt. It does have this scope. Nicely paint job, some stitches going on, but other than that, straight to the point. He also comes with his wife's ashes, which if you guys know by now, he was in a journey with his to spill the ashes over Jotunheim, I think it was. But yeah, this is nicely sculpted. The paintwork looks good. The gold that you see here is also sculpted. You can feel it with your fingers. This is a nice little bag that you can also hang on to Kratos' waist. And he also comes with his shield, but this version of the shield is the one that is folded. But this is nicely sculpted. The paintwork looks really good. You can attach magnetically onto Kratos' gauntlet. This is the shield. The magnet is actually pretty good. But yeah, so you can see the details on here. You can see that it has some black wash over the gold, making the detail stand out even more. And it kind of has a little bit of a weight to it. And this is what the other side looks like. You can see the red. But yeah, this is nicely done shield. Up next is his Leviathan axe, which again is full of details. You can see here all of the designs, same on the other side. You see a little face there. Then the wood looks really good. It's textured like it was real wood. Has some designs there. And then down here you can see the wraps around the axe. And here you can see more engravings, and have this little, I guess, dragon. But yeah, this is pretty dope. Up next is his Blades of Chaos. This is his Norse mythology version. This time around, you can see the skull is in gold. You can see the actual blade, and it looks nice. It looks like it has a little bit of faded blood on it. Then it has a chain. The chains are made out of real chain material. When you unravel it, you get to see the handle here. It's nicely painted. And this is made out of pretty sturdy material too. It's not bendable. And finally, he does come with the MONDO stand, which personally I'm not a huge fan of it. I think an actual base that symbolized a stage from the game would have been cool, even if in the bottom it had this M to it. But we do have this regular crotch holder for him.
But wait, there's more.
This is the deluxe version, so we do get this gold version of the Leviathan. Nicely done. You can see all of the details in there. On the top, it looks like it has like some little crown thing going on. You can see all of the texture, all of the sculpted work. Even on the wood, this time around, we have some gold running through it. And in the bottom, we do have this golden wing. And finally, we come across this version of the Blades of Chaos, which it does have a different design there. It's much lighter, it doesn't have the blood spill look to it. The gold here has a different helmet to it, different design, and also the end of it is completely different with more gold wrappings around the handle. But this looks nice. That's a wrap up on my review on Mondo's God of Kratos. This figure is a must if you are a fan. However, just be aware of the limitations of this figure. If you're gonna have him in a museum pose, he is good. However, there's limited options for your posability. You know, you can get him in certain decent poses, but you may scratch the paint job. So just keep that in mind. Unless you decide to warm him up, maybe that'll help. But just keep those things in mind. He comes with a lot of different accessories, which is really cool. The details is amazing. I think Mondo did a great job overall. However, the articulation. But thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you guys. If you guys haven't yet, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and if not, hit that thumbs down. It is perfectly cool. But yeah, thank you guys so much for stopping by today. I appreciate you guys, and y'all be blessed. Thank you.
Power of this weapon, any weapon, comes from here. But only when tempered by this. By the discipline, the self-control of the one who wields it. That is where the true strength of a warrior lies. You must never forget that.